Corpse wakes up, funeral ruined, everyone screaming. Ancient Persia had dogs that decided who was dead, four-eyed demon-hunting hounds that could literally see your soul leaving your body. This is Sagdid, dogs judging the dead, and it gets insane. You die in ancient Persia. Immediately, invisible demons called druj swarm your corpse like maggots on roadkill. They're not waiting, they're not polite, they want your soul, and they want it now. According to the Avestan, Zoroastrian holy texts, these corpse demons descend the instant your heart stops. They possess the flesh, corrupt the spirit, and drag your consciousness into eternal darkness. Traditional prayers, useless. Holy water, pathetic. Incense, the demons laugh at your smoke. But the Persians discovered something incredible, something that made demons flee in terror. Dogs, but not just any dogs, four-eyed hounds with tan or pale spots above their regular eyes. These markings weren't cute genetic quirks, they were supernatural radar systems. The Zoroastrians believed these extra eyes granted vision beyond the mortal veil. 2 eyes for our world, 2 eyes for the demon realm. The ritual was brutal in its simplicity. Corpse placed on stone slab. Family steps back in silence, four-eyed hound approaches the body. If it stares down the corpse without flinching, demons burn away like acid on flesh. Soul escapes free to judgment. But if the animal turns away, whimpers, refuses to look, game over. The demons already claimed their prize. And here's where your brain is about to absolutely explode, because sometimes these hounds would do something else entirely that changed everything.
The four-eyed hound approaches the wrapped corpse, sniffs once, twice, then its tail starts wagging. It licks the dead person's face. The family gasps, because these ancient Persians accidentally created the world's first living medical scanner with 4 legs and a wet nose. Canines detect heartbeats so faint human ears miss them completely. They smell chemical changes between true death and unconsciousness. They sense body heat, muscle tension, the microscopic difference between a coma and an actual corpse. Picture this nightmare scenario. You're dead, wrapped in burial linens, family sobbing over your body, nephew already dividing your property, and suddenly you're coughing, gasping, clawing your way out of funeral shrouds. The hound is wagging like it just saved the universe. Historical records confirm this happened repeatedly. The Bundahishan describes a wealthy merchant who returned from Shadow's realm when the sacred animal refused to let priests continue the ceremony. The hound allegedly pulled at his burial wrappings until his chest started rising and falling again. Imagine the chaos. Mourners screaming, priests dropping their ritual implements, the dead man sitting up asking why everyone looks so pale. But here's the absolute nightmare that kept Persian families awake at night. What if you brought the wrong hound? What if your eternal soul depended on the village's laziest, most distracted mutt? Your afterlife hanging in the balance because Spot would rather chase butterflies than battle demons from hell. The priests went absolutely insane with backup protocols. Multiple hounds when available, extended observation periods where the animals had to maintain eye contact for specific durations, special prayers to enhance the creature's spiritual vision, sacred oils applied to their foreheads to sharpen their demon detection abilities. Because in Zoroastrian cosmology, these weren't pets, they were divine special forces. The Avesta declares that killing a hound brings identical punishment to murdering a human being. Dog abuse was literally a capital crime, punishable by death. These animals were companions of Ahura Mazda himself, the supreme deity of light and truth. They served as guardians of the Chinvat Bridge, the narrow span where souls face final judgment after death. They were protectors against Ahriman, the destructive spirit of absolute darkness who seeks to devour all creation. Sagdid represented the peak of this cosmic significance. The hound's gaze wasn't mere observation, it was divine intervention channeled through 4 eyes. Every ceremony was an invisible battle between forces of light and shadow, with human souls as the ultimate prize. The animal was literally channeling the power of gods to fight demons for your eternal essence. But this divine status would eventually become the ritual's absolute death sentence.
Islamic armies obliterate Persia, 7th century CE. New theological rules sweep across the empire like wildfire. Canines, revered in Zoroastrianism as divine protectors, are now considered ritually unclean in Islamic tradition. The idea of bringing a hound near a deceased body, inside family homes, near sacred funeral prayers, not just wrong, blasphemous, punishable by imprisonment, exile, or worse. Zoroastrian families face an impossible choice that tears communities apart: abandon their ancient protection against demonic possession or risk brutal persecution for practicing their most sacred death rite. Some continue Sagdid in absolute secrecy, hiding in remote villages, performing ceremonies by moonlight with trusted hounds. Others desperately modify the ritual, keeping the animals at greater distances, reducing physical contact, hoping weakened protection is better than none. Many simply stop entirely, trusting their loved ones' souls to prayers alone against the demon hordes. Picture the heartbreak. The last elderly priest, clutching his 4-eyed companion that saved dozens of souls, watching centuries of tradition dissolve into historical footnotes. The hounds that once battled cosmic evil for human spirits were now forbidden from even approaching the dying. Generations of accumulated wisdom about life, death, and the thin boundary between them, erased by political conquest. But here's what will absolutely obliterate everything you thought you knew about this story.
Modern medicine proves the ancient Persians were 100% correct. Canines detect epileptic seizures minutes before they happen. They smell cancer cells in human breath samples with 97% accuracy. They identify diabetic emergencies, heart attacks, and strokes through scent molecules humans can't even perceive. Their ability to sense life signs was never mystical nonsense. It was advanced science disguised as religion. Those 4-eyed markings the Persians specifically sought, they frequently appear on breeds with enhanced sensory capabilities: German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Belgian Malinois, animals literally bred for protection, detection, and life-saving work. What if Sagdid was humanity's first emergency medical protocol wrapped in religious ceremony? What if those demon-hunting hounds were actually coma-detecting physicians with diagnostic equipment superior to any human doctor for the next 1400 years? The Persians claimed their animals could see demons stealing souls. Maybe they were absolutely right. If you define demons as the invisible physiological processes that claim life before anyone realizes death hasn't actually occurred. They weren't fighting supernatural entities. They were fighting premature burial with the most sophisticated detection system available in the ancient world.
Last recorded Sagdid ceremony. Rural Iran, 1963. Elderly Zoroastrian woman dies peacefully in her sleep. Her family, following half-remembered ancestral traditions, brings their German Shepherd to her bedside for the ancient rite. The animal stares intensely for several minutes, then gently places its paw on her motionless chest. She never awakened, but every witness swore the room's atmosphere transformed afterward. Peaceful, protected, like something malevolent had been banished forever from their presence. Whether you believe in demons or medical miracles, those ancient Persians understood something we've completely forgotten. The boundary between life and death is thinner than a razor's edge, and sometimes the clearest vision comes from eyes we never expected to trust. These four-eyed guardians didn't just protect Persian homes, they protected the doorway between worlds, the last witnesses as souls departed, the first hope when souls weren't ready to leave. Hit the like button if this ancient death ritual just completely blew your mind. Drop a comment. Would you trust a four-eyed hound to judge your soul, or demand a second opinion from modern medicine? And if you think that story was wild, watch my video on how Romans weaponized these same animals for psychological warfare that traumatized entire civilizations. That video is on the screen and linked in the pinned comment. Miss it and you'll regret it forever.